Okay, hi guys, this is a new video about Solidworks. In this one I'm going to teach you how to use these four tools. They work to create new material, so they are in 3 dimensions because they create material. This, remember the difference because these are in 2 dimensions. Sketches are in 2 and these are in 3. For this video you really have to take into account the planes. Where are you drawing? Where are your sketches? Before you can go to 3 dimensions. So for this one I'm gonna start with revolve boss base and I'm going to select the top plane and normal 2. Remember that to make it visible you just click on this and select here the tool to make it visible. So I'm going to start by drawing sketches. I'm gonna draw 3 sketches for you to have in mind. I'm gonna draw them in the top plane and my first one will be here. I don't really care about measures, but what I do care is to finish the sketch by clicking there and making sure that sketch number 1 is only that circle. So again, I'm going to select the top plane because there is where I want to draw, and I'm gonna make a line. The line will be, for example, from this point to this point. I'm gonna finish the sketch and I make sure that the line is in sketch number 2, so they are separated. And then the third one, I'm gonna make, again I click on the top plane because there is where I want to draw. I'm gonna make a 3-point arc and I'm going to make an arc here. Keep in mind that this arc is one sketch, but it's an open contour. I already explained you what is an open or a closed contour, so I have to close it. I only can revolve closed contours, so now it's closed. I'm gonna finish the sketch again here. And let's make sure sketch number 1 is the circle, sketch number 2 is the line, and sketch number 3 is that semicircle. So features, check here, I have nothing selected. I'm gonna click on revolve boss base and it asks me, okay, what do you want to revolve? In first place I'm gonna revolve this circle, and it tells me, okay, and what is the axis where you want to revolve it? I'm gonna select this line, and as you can notice here, it gives you a preview of the final result. What I'm going to do here is control the revolution itself. So I'm gonna say, for example, 90, and it shows me a 1/4 of a circle. I'm gonna say 180, and it's half of a circle. This is the way you can control how to revolve it. This is what I want, let's say. So I'm gonna click on the tick, and now I have this. And as you can check here in the list, now the sketch number 1 is inside of the operation revolve number 1. So it didn't disappear, it just changed. Now for the next example, again check, I have nothing selected. I'm gonna click on revolve boss base. It asks me what do I want to revolve. I'm gonna say this one, and it asks me, okay, what is the axis of revolution? So I'm gonna say here. This is the reason why you need to have closed contours, because if it is open it won't let you complete this type of shapes. So this is a sphere. For example, same thing happens here, but I do want a sphere, so I will leave it as 360. I click on the tick to finish the operation. I'm going to hide my top plane and also my sketch number 2, hide and hide. And as you can see, we have these 2 things. What it does is basically it follows a revolution of one closed shape, following a simple axis, which in this case was this line. Okay, to show you the second feature, I just created a new file, and I'm gonna start by making visible top and front plane. I'm gonna need 2 planes that are touching themselves, as you can see with this line. To sweep boss base is basically to make a closed contour follow a pattern. So to begin, I'm gonna make the pattern. My pattern will be on front plane, so I'm gonna right click on it, select normal 2, and I'm gonna make a pattern that will start on the top face, on the top plane, sorry. So I will make the pattern, it doesn't really matter which one, and I'm going to finish the sketch. As you see, sketch number 1 is this pattern, and I'm not needing the front plane anymore, so I'm going to hide it. Now the second drawing will be on my top plane. So I'm gonna select top plane, and I'm gonna you can make any kind of closed contour. So I will make a circle, for example. The circle will have to be touching the first point. Why? Because if you remember, the first point was touching both the top plane and the front plane. That's how it works. So you finish the circle, you click here to finish the sketch, I'm gonna hide the top plane real quick, and now I have two sketches, and as you can see they are touching themselves even though they are not in the same plane. So I'm gonna say check here. I didn't click anywhere, so I have nothing selected. I'm gonna click on swept boss base, and what is the close contour that I need to follow? This one. What is the path that I need to be followed? This one. And as you can see, it gives you a preview of how the operation works. It basically makes a pipeline. You can activate this thin feature and it will make a real pipeline. So as you see, it makes a hole in it. Here you can select how big or how small, so I'm gonna select, for example, 10. And it's bigger than the one that we have, so I'm gonna select, for example, 1. So it's thinner. If I make 5, it will do this. Nope, too big, so I will go with 3. It changes depending on on this number. I don't want to make a pipeline, so I'm going to uncheck this. And since this is what I want, I'm gonna click on the tick to finish my operation, and this will be like the final result of the operation swept boss base. Okay, new part. So new operation, we're going with lofted boss base, and in this case the operation will merge two different shapes, but they have to be parallel. So we're gonna work on the top plane. I'm gonna activate it here, and we need to create another plane because both the sketches have to be in parallel. So that means that I'm going to check this tool, reference geometry. I click on plane, and here on the left is going to give me all the parameters that I need so I can create a new plane. So what is the first reference? The first reference is my top plane because I need a parallel. And then I can say the distance between the plane that I'm creating and the original one. I don't really care, so I'm gonna say 80. Since that is what I want, I have it here. Now, if we take a look to both of the planes, I have top plane, which is this one, and plane 1. So keep that in mind. Where are we drawing? So to begin, I'm going to draw on the top plane. So I'm going to say normal 2. And remember, I have selected the top plane, so everything I sketch will be on the top plane. I'm gonna make a triangle. And the triangle will be starting in the origin. So I have a triangle here. I finish this sketch, and just for you to understand, as you can see here, the triangle is on the top plane, which is the one below. Then on plane 1, I'm going to say normal 2, and I have selected the plane 1, so I'm going to draw another shape in the plane 1. So I'm gonna draw a circle that will be bigger than my triangle. And in this case, when we take a look to this, I have a circle and a triangle in two different planes. I'm going to hide the planes so you can see the operation better. So I have a circle and a triangle. Check here, I have nothing selected. I'm going to click on lofted boss base, and you just have to tell the program what are the profiles that you need to combine. So I'm gonna combine this one and this one, and automatically, as usual, you can see like the preview of how it's done. You can actually change this. So for example, I'm gonna put it here to see how it affects the shape. And you can by changing this, you will be able to change the final shape. Remember that if it doesn't give you a preview, it's because it's not possible. So let's say that this is the result that I want. I'm gonna click on the tick, and this would be like the final piece, like the final part. So it is a circle that will be merged into a triangle at the bottom. That's what the tool is about. Okay, again, new file for a new part. I'm going to explain boundary boss base. It's basically the same that lofted boss base, but in this case you join a surface with a sketch. So it has to be about joining a 3D sketch with a 3D material, something, with a sketch. So in this case, on the top plane, I'm going to create 3D material. I'm going to create the real material. So normal 2, and on the top plane I'm gonna make a rectangle, finish the sketch, then I select the sketch, I go to features and I extrude it. So I will make something like in 3D. I'm gonna make it bigger so you will see the difference at the end. So now I have this. I'm gonna hide the top plane, and I have my real thing, my 3D thing. So now I have to create a sketch, and this sketch has to be parallel to the other one. So that means that it has to be parallel to this surface. In this case, again, I will have to make a reference geometry. I have to create a new plane, and my first reference will be this. So it's okay, I want it here in 80 centimeters. It will be the distance, and I create it. Here on plane 1, I'm gonna create another shape. So I'm going to right click on it and say normal 2 to have a better view, and click on the plane 1. So I will draw on the plane 1, then I click on the circle, and I'm gonna make a circle on one side so it will look different. Here I finish my sketch and I take a look just to make sure that the circle is on the plane and not on the surface. So for you to have a better look, I'm gonna hide this plane, and I have a circle that is in 2D, and I have an object that is in 3D. So the operation boundary boss base will bound this with this and create material in the middle. So you select boundary boss base. First thing you select is the surface that you want to bound, and second thing is the sketch. And one more time, as you can see, it shows you how everything will be merged. But this has more tools, let's say. You can move the same dot here, so it will affect how it looks. But the good thing is that here you can say, for example, direction vector. Okay, not that one, but normal to profile. And as you see, the shape changes, and you can do it on both sides. So I'm gonna say, for example, curvature to face, normal to profile again. So as you see, the shape changes. Basically, you can modify whatever you want by changing this arrow, so it will look taller or smaller. That's up to you. Well, that's up to the designer. And I'm gonna make it like a little bit twisted, and this is what I want. So I click on the tick, and automatically it linked the first object, which was this, with this that was a sketch. It was not in 3D. And that's how boundary boss base works.